Hello and welcome to this episode of Talking Trim. I'm Jonathan Skinner and today's video focuses on the Jaguar E Type two-seater fixed heads. Now this is a continuation of a series of videos that I've been doing detailing the different areas of the trim kit that we offer for the various cars. So like I said, this is the two-seater fixed head and this particular video is focused on the kind of flooring items. So that includes the carpet items as well as the sort of hardura elements throughout the car there. So kind of think of it as mostly related to front to back floor items that are kind of found on the floor of the car or very similar items. A couple of these parts are shared in between other videos just for kind of clarity on those particular pieces, but for the most part this is fairly unique. What we've got here is we've got a mixture of two kits. We've got red and green. The red is focused on the Series 1 for 3.8 litre and the green is the later sort of 4.2 litres but mostly Series 1.5, Series 2. A few of the parts are shared between them and I will go over that individually, but that's the rough outline. All of these parts in the shot are included as standard in our trim kit, or you can buy them individually in car sets as it were. So what we've got is a very brief overview. You've got the A-post harduras at the very front of the car, so they're the sort of kick panels on the left and right sides, either side of the doors. Then you've got the carpet set, then you've got the under-seat harduras, then you've got the sort of rear cubby box just situated just behind the seats, and then finally in the back of the car you've got the rear luggage floor. Right, so let's start at the front and I'll go over it all individually. Try and make it as clear and concise as possible, but do bear with me. So you've got the A-post footwell harduras. So you get a pair of them. They're hardura, which is a felt back plastic material. There's a felt backing on it there, as you can see. And it's available in quite a wide range of colours, but nothing quite like the vinyls and leathers, etc. We can upgrade to wool if you prefer, and these basically sit on the vertical of the kick panels on the side of the car, just directly in front of the door. They obviously bend around the corner. This is for the sill here. They bend around the corner, and they have the bonnet release on for the internal bonnet release. Obviously, the earlier cars only had external bonnet releases. We do a pilot cut there, which is where the lever for the bonnet release goes, and then the chrome puts over the top. We only do a small little cut there as it allows for a much neater finish in situ in the car. Obviously for the earlier cars we would not include that cut, so it's better with that in mind. So you get a pair of those. They are common pretty much from the Series 1s up until the Series 2s. There is actually a very subtle difference between the 3.8s and the 4.2s. Visually you won't be able to tell the difference, but we do have different patterns for them, so just bear that in mind. Then you've got the carpet set. Carpet set consists of the toe boards, which go on the vertical bulkheads to the engine bay. You have a pair of gearbox sides. Because of the restrictions on the size of our table that I'm doing a video on, I've just put those next to one another there. This happens to be for a left-hand drive, which means that there was a big D heel pad that went on there as a footrest effectively. And then you had the rear gearbox carpets here. So they go kind of underneath the console there. You get a pair of those. This one on the left hand side had a hardura pocket sewn onto the back of it and some fixings there. That was for accessing the oil dipper, I believe, and the pocket was basically to keep your measuring dipper in, and this felt was used to stick in there as per original spec. I've actually detailed that on another video on our channel with some photos, so just bear that in mind, but that was original for the cars. Then obviously you get the front floor carpets. Now these are for non-flat floor. Obviously the flat floors were different, so you had the non-flat floor which had these sunken elements. They sort of curved in and out of the footwell to give you that extra bit of foot room. And then I've just kicked that there. You had the crossmember carpets here. We edged them as per original spec, so not all the edges are edged. See our blog post handbook for details of the concepts of that. Heel pad wise, we use the original Storvik plastic where colours allow. We can also upgrade to leather, or for where colours don't allow, we can use a leather cloth material on plastic, so it all ties in with the edging and your interior trim panels. We use leather cloth for the edging. As per original spec, we do not use vinyl like other companies out there do. Leather cloth is the correct material. Vinide is what it is commonly called. Again, see our blog handbook post for more details on that. We also have a array of colours, so see our materials and colours library for that. This is what we refer to as classic red, which is a fairly deep red, but we have 3 other colours of red. We have bright red, we have red, classic red and maroon, and that goes from bright up until dark effectively in that order. So it's worth checking out our materials and colours library for that, as we offer, I believe, the widest range of colours available in the market. Moving further back, you've got the under-seat harduras. Again, hardura like the A-post panel, so it's that felt back plastic material edged all the way back. This is obviously for the recessed lower bulkhead, which was very commonly seen. The flat floor cars often had a flat bulkhead which went straight across, so we obviously have the patterns for that as well. Then going towards the back of the car, so basically anything after this section here was behind the seats. So you got the lower bulkhead retrim kit, which is moquette for the early cars. Moquette being a thin, short piled wool based item, so very similar to carpet. Jaguar used it frequently on their XKs, their E Types, and some of their early saloons like the Mark IIs and Daimlers, etc. Very high quality material, and that was used on the earlier cars there. Or the later cars, sort of Series 1.5, Series 2, started using vinyl. We also supply pre-cut foams there. It's just to clarify exactly what I'm talking about here, we'll refer to this book. So lower bulkhead is this part here. Goes from left to right on the car, directly behind the seats. There, obviously the under seat harduras, you can just see the back of there. So that's the lower bulkhead. Now moving on, we're going to talk about this sort of rear cubby box area here behind the seat. So it had a hinge that came down, it had a cubby box in there. So we've got 2 versions of this kit here again, sort of red and green. The red pieces, apart from the hardura, are all common. So you had vinyl, a couple of bits of vinyl for retrimming the sort of panel area. So this shaped piece here that I'm kneeling on is this piece here. Then you had a material that went in underneath here, which formed the kind of floor of the rear cubby box. On the earlier cars, it was hardura, as per this red one. On the later cars, it tended to be wool carpet. Obviously, we ask what your preference is when we're making the kits there. Then you had this piece here, which actually folds over a plywood, and that becomes the hinge panel that separates the main cabin area to the boot trunk area of the car there. So it's this piece here slash this piece here. So that's included as part of the rear cubby box kit. You also get a couple of bits of foam, etc., for padding out those bits and bobs. Then finally, you've got the rear luggage floor area. So this is the boot trunk area as such, accessed via the rear hatch right in the back of the car. Now effectively there are 3 different versions of this kit, and 2 of them are on show here. The early cars, the 3.8 litre cars, they used hardura again, the felt back plastic, and they had 2 different versions. They had this 2-piece version, which tended to be seen, I believe, on the earlier cars, and then they also had a 1-piece version, which I believe was effectively that same shape there, but without that slit there. But do see our other videos and photos for clarification on that, as I'm going off memory there. But certainly there was a 2-piece version, which was that one, or a 1-piece version. Then for the later cars, the 4.2 litre cars, it turned from hardura into a vinyl material. So they were plywood panels, trimmed all the way around, and they had the runners, rubbers and chromes, etc. on them. So just refer to the book. It's all of this area here basically. Obviously the spare wheel, spare tyre was underneath the hatch of there, which is why that's in 2 pieces there, or several there. Now the green kit here, if you're buying it as a kit, includes these 3 pieces, but it will also include this part here, which is the separator, also obviously in green, but I've removed it from this video because obviously it's included in the rear cubby box kit as well. So if you're buying a trim kit, you just end up with exactly what you need, which you'll always end up with this piece. If you're buying an individual kit and it just so happens to be the rear luggage floor kit, but you're also buying the cubby box, you'll obviously only end up with one of these pieces. You see what I'm saying? We don't oversupply, basically. We know basically there's a bit of a area where these are shared in between that kit and this kit. So if you're buying the individual kit, you'll make sure that you get that piece, but if you're buying a full trim kit, we'll obviously make sure that you don't receive two of the same parts, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that's a brief overview there. I've tried to be as quick as possible while also being quite clear. Yeah, as you can see, comprehensive kit, lots of different colours that we can provide, so please do check out our materials and colours library. Please remember to like, subscribe and share with other classic car enthusiasts. Of course, raise any questions that you have in the comments area or contact me directly. Please do also refer to other videos. This is all an organic process. I'm building up this YouTube channel and I do kind of freestyle the content of them, so almost certainly I'll overlook bits and bobs on there, so I try to do my best with that. Hope you find it useful. Yeah, be sure to check out our website as well. And yeah, until next time, see ya.